As parents, we have all been there. Your child is sitting at the table, homework open, pencil untouched. You've reminded them twice already. The third reminder comes with tension in your voice. The fourth comes with a threat. Eventually, they comply. Not because they've learned responsibility, but because they've learned how far they can push before you snap. You feel like you're teaching discipline, but what you're really teaching is dependence on pressure. Now, contrast that with a 6-year-old in Japan who wakes up, packs their bag, walks to school, focuses in class, and completes tasks without constant reminders. It's tempting to blame culture, genetics, or strictness, but that explanation lets us off the hook too easily. The real difference isn't intelligence. It isn't pressure. It isn't even discipline in the way most parents understand it. It's one method that trains the brain for self-regulation long before academics ever begin. And once you understand it, you'll realize why some children become self-driven learners while others constantly need to be pushed. Why Japanese kids don't need constant reminders to succeed. Most parents live in a loop of reminders. Brush your teeth, put on your shoes, finish your homework, come to the table. By the end of the day, you're exhausted. Not because parenting is inherently hard, but because you've become your child's external brain. You remember for them. You regulate for them. You push them forward when they stall. Every instruction, every nudge, every raised voice tells your child, you can't manage yourself. Someone else has to do it. And over time, that message becomes a pattern ingrained deep in their nervous system. In Japan, parents see this differently. They don't ask, how do I make my child comply? They ask, how do I help my child remember themselves? It's a subtle shift in perspective, but it changes everything. The goal isn't obedience. The goal is autonomy. The goal is internal regulation. Japanese children aren't better listeners because they fear punishment or because they want to please. They're better listeners because they've been trained to rely on themselves, not on constant prompts from others. Their brain learns, I notice what needs to be done, instead of, I wait until someone forces me. Here's what Western parents often miss. Every reminder you give weakens your child's responsibility muscle. Every don't forget chips away at the internal wiring that tells them, I can do this myself. Every time you step in to push, correct, or direct, you send the signal that initiative belongs to someone else. Over months and years, children can become dependent on external control, on reminders, threats, and rewards, rather than learning to self-manage. Japanese parents intentionally step back, not because they are uninvolved, but because they understand how habits form in the brain. They know that responsibility doesn't grow under pressure. It grows under quiet expectation, repetition, and consistency. Children absorb patterns through observation and participation in daily life, not through shouting or chasing. A 6-year-old folding their own laundry, packing their school bag, or putting shoes on isn't being obedient in the Western sense. They're exercising internalized responsibility, a skill nurtured gradually, intentionally, and without stress. This is why Japanese children don't need constant reminders to succeed. They weren't trained to wait for someone else to manage them. Instead, they learned early that they are capable, that their actions matter, that effort begins inside themselves long before anyone has to say a word. And the best part? This isn't about perfection. It's about cultivating self-trust, focus, and independence from the very start, building a foundation that will carry them through school, friendships, and life. Now let me teach you the hidden Japanese rule of Shitsuke, which enables them to raise a topper child. But before that, it would be much more appreciated if you like this video for our efforts and comment down about your previous experience. The hidden rule of Shitsuke. Before age 7, Japanese parenting quietly follows an unspoken but powerful rule called Shitsuke. Do not control behavior you want the child to own later. It's simple in words, but revolutionary in practice. If you want your child to focus later, you don't force focus early. If you want them to be responsible later, you don't micromanage early. If you want them to be disciplined later, you don't rely on fear, threats, or harsh consequences early. Instead, Japanese parents build structure without pressure. They create environments where participation, observation, and rhythm guide the child naturally. Young children are not expected to be perfect. They are expected to engage, repeat, and internalize patterns. The day-to-day routines, the way the family moves through breakfast, chores, play, and bedtime, become a kind of invisible curriculum. Children absorb it, step by step, without being pushed or shamed. This approach is deeply rooted in an understanding of the developing brain. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for focus, planning, and impulse control, is still immature in young children. You cannot force it to turn on faster with pressure or repetition alone. But you can strengthen it through repeated, predictable experiences delivered without stress. The nervous system learns that actions have consequences, routines are safe, and participation is expected, not because someone is watching, but because that's simply how life flows. Here's what that looks like in practice. Instead of shouting, "Do your homework now," the environment communicates, "After school, we all sit at our desks and prepare for homework." Instead of threatening with punishment, there is predictability. The child knows what comes next, and the rhythm of the day becomes a guide. Instead of endless lectures, parents model behavior quietly. They put their own shoes away, tidy the living space, or prepare meals, letting the child absorb the cues through observation. Shitsuke isn't about rigidity. It's about internalizing structure before expectations become external commands. The hidden rule is simple, but uncomfortable for many parents. Your child must feel capable, not controlled. Once control enters the picture, learning shuts down. When a parent hovers, nags, or uses threats, the child's attention shifts from learning and participating to avoiding punishment or pleasing the parent. The brain's natural curiosity and internal motivation are overridden by stress. Over time, Shitsuke creates children who are self-disciplined, self-motivated, and confident in their own abilities. They don't wait for reminders because the internal rhythm has already been internalized. They don't need constant supervision because they've learned that participation, responsibility, and focus are expected parts of life, not optional behaviors dictated by someone else. It's counterintuitive for many Western parents. We think we are helping by controlling behavior, but in reality, Shitsuke teaches the opposite. Independence comes from giving children the chance to practice autonomy in a safe, predictable environment, long before the stakes are high. The calm consistency of this method trains the nervous system to self-regulate, strengthens the prefrontal cortex, and fosters habits that stick far longer than any command, reward, or punishment ever could. In short, Shitsuke is the art of guiding without controlling, of teaching responsibility without pressure, and of raising self-regulated children quietly, step by step, before age 7. What Western parenting misses about raising high achievers. Western parenting often mistakes achievement for acceleration. Earlier reading, more worksheets, more classes, more praise, more pressure. Parents chase milestones, believing more effort equals more success. But real achievement doesn't come from doing more. It comes from needing less external motivation. High-performing children aren't the most pushed. They're the most internally regulated. Their parents built internal systems early, before grades or competition mattered. Achievement isn't about stacking tasks. It's about developing a brain that can focus, self-manage, and take initiative without reminders, threats, or rewards. What Western parenting often misses is this: children don't become self-driven by being pushed. They become self-driven by being trusted. Stepping in too fast signals, "I don't trust you." Rescuing them from small discomfort teaches, discomfort is dangerous. Relying on rewards and praise teaches, effort only matters when someone notices. Japanese parenting removes performance from early childhood. No gold stars, no bribes, no constant evaluation. Mistakes aren't dramatized. A child who forgets shoes or spills food isn't shamed or praised. They simply try again tomorrow within a steady rhythm. Life continues, and learning happens quietly. This calm structure builds responsibility naturally. Children act without being watched. Motivation becomes internal, not dependent on incentives. Action feels normal, necessary, and satisfying on its own. Over time, this creates resilience, self-discipline, and real achievement. Mistakes become information, not emergencies. Tasks become part of life, not tests. Effort becomes a habit, not a performance. In short, Western parenting often pushes for results. Japanese parenting teaches independence first. That's the foundation of sustainable high performance, built on trust, rhythm, and internal regulation, not speed, pressure, or rewards. The path to raising a self-disciplined child. Raising a topper child isn't about pushing harder. It's about stepping back sooner. It's about trusting the process instead of controlling the outcome. It's about remembering that discipline is not something you install. It's something you allow to grow. Japanese parents don't raise high achievers by demanding excellence. They raise them by building systems that make excellence inevitable. And the best part? You don't need to be Japanese to use this method. You just need to stop confusing obedience with discipline and start building the kind of structure that lets your child regulate themselves. That's how toppers are made. Quietly, consistently, from the inside out.